Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Look what I was able to get my hands on today. I am so excited. This is the new Too Faced Italian Spritz eyeshadow palette. I wanted to get this review up as soon as possible for you guys. I know this lighting is not great. I hate filming at nighttime, but it was actually my niece's first birthday party today, so we had that to do this morning, and I stopped at Ulta on my way there and picked this bad boy up. But you guys know me. I always say, like, I'm done buying the Too Faced palettes and all this stuff, but then I always get suckered back in. And when I saw this palette, I was like so blown away with Too Faced doing more colorful shadows that I knew I had to pick it up and try it for you guys. And I had a ton of you guys ask me, because I feel like it's tradition at this point that we pretty much review all the Too Faced palettes, and it is so exciting to see the tin packaging back again. Anyways, let's get into this one. So like I mentioned, I actually picked this one up at Ulta Beauty. I think most stores have it on the floor right now. I don't know if they are supposed to release it later, but I know it went online today, so I thought I would check my Ulta store, and they did also have it on the floor. This was literally just sneak peeked only a few days ago, so I was surprised it already is out. And usually I feel like Too Faced launches get sneaked really early, but I think now maybe since Jared's kind of out of the picture, they're not getting sneaked anymore, because he was always the one doing the sneak peeks. But anyways, I was so shocked by this one, and I was really excited. I knew I had to have it. It's called the Italian Spritz palette. It's very spring summer. It does retail for $54, so their chocolate palettes recently had a price increase last year with their Better Than Chocolate palette, so now they are $54. I think back in the day they used to be $49, and then they might have went up to like $52, but it was almost $60 with tax when I did buy this one, which seemed like quite a bit. It says it's an 18 shade eyeshadow palette that's full of fresh matte metallic shimmer and special effect finishes, and it smells like a summer spritz. So let me show you guys the palette. Here is the outside here. Beautiful packaging again with the tin, and then here is the colors. Oh my goodness, like I really thought this was so colorful for Too Faced to do. It says on the back, transport yourself to Lake Como, Italy without the airfare with this sparkling fresh eyeshadow palette inspired by our favorite summer cocktail. And I really don't smell much with this one, honestly. I feel like I can smell like a little bit of like some type of slight fruity scent, but it's very subtle. It's nothing that's overpowering at all. Yeah, I'm just getting very much hints of some type of citrus bubbly type of scent, but it does smell good. I really feel like with this palette, Too Faced actually listened to our suggestions for once, because honestly, I feel like this is so shocking to not see a chocolate bar in this packaging or like a holiday palette. And I feel like the last non-chocolate or holiday gingerbread whatever palette was like the peach palette, so this just honestly made me so happy. And this is like what I want from Too Faced. I always wanted them to do more of these tin package like fun scented palettes, and I feel like they're actually listening to us. And then I feel like a lot of us have been asking for more color, because you know, we're sick of the same old from Too Faced. And neutral palettes are great here and there, but we definitely don't need them for every single launch. I know the launch prior they did a pastel palette. I honestly was not impressed with that one, so I was kind of unsure of how this one was going to go, but I definitely wanted to try it out for all these fun colors. So let's get into these swatches. This first shade is Holy Cannoli, and it is a matte light pinky peach. Next we have a shimmer. This is Ciao Bella. Now this shimmer formula, it seems like a similar shimmer formula to what's in like the teddy bear palette and in the Sunset Strip, if you guys have tried that one. So these shimmers are the ones that are kind of almost creamy or wet to the touch. They're a little bit chunky though and thick when you do put them on. So this is not my favorite shimmer formula that they do, but I will tell you they do give you very intense metallics, so maybe that's why they went with this formula. I think the thing with these is that they kind of show up really wrinkly on the eyes, and that's maybe why I don't love it as much, but I feel like it does make the metallics really pop though. This next shade is called When in Rome. Another shimmer, this is Take Me to Church. We have Feelin' Saucy. This shimmer is called Lake Como. This one actually is not the same formula as the other shimmers. It's like more of a powdery finish, so it's not as thick on the eyes, but you can kind of tell it's also not as intense as the other ones. Next shade is Toasted in Tuscany. We have a beautiful bronze called Sin Sin. This shimmer is Spritz and Glitz. Another matte, this one is Spaghetti About It. This gold is Grappa Don't Preach, and then this brown is Espresso Yourself. I got like tongue-tied on the name, so I totally pronounced the wrong name. That's why you guys got 2 in a row. Next we have Lake and Bake. This mustard matte called Capri Fun. We have a plum called Mamma Mia. This dark kind of teal, almost gray is Como After Dark. We have Impostable. And then this matte cream is Gelato, or just Gelato. So here is all of the shades together. It's honestly a beautiful color story. So now that we've seen swatches, you guys got to know a little bit about the palette. I am going to be doing 2 looks for you today. I'm going to be doing this one for you, and I also have a really fun, just very warm, orangey look for you as well, which will just be pretty quick. But I wanted to make sure I did 2 looks so you can kind of see the versatility with this one. So let's get into that. So for our first look, I'm going to go ahead and do something a little bit neutral. I like to share kind of an everyday look, and I like to share something a little bit more colorful, and we get to try out a little bit more of the shades. So I'm going to go in with, let's do Capri Fun, which is like this mustard color. It looks really pretty. And we're going to place this in the crease. Look at that color. It was like full on opaque right away. I am using a really small brush though to blend it. This is the Sephora 24. Always recommend this for the crease. It's like the perfect size, but really impressed with the pigment on this shadow here. Next, we're going to use a little bit of Feelin' Saucy. This is like this kind of burnt orange, and I'm going to work this in the outer corner. These mattes are actually quite impressive, I will say. I am going to run the leftover product along my lower lash line a little bit. And then I'm going to take a smaller brush and dip into Feelin' Saucy again. And we will really build that color up here on the lower lash line. Okay, so next I think on the lid, let's do a little bit of what does it say? Sin Sin. And place this just in the middle. And in the inner corner, I'm going to take Ciao Bella in the inner, just kind of blending it all together. So even though I am going for more neutral with these tones, it's not totally neutral. It's definitely still very colorful. And let's do a little bit of this gelato color, which is just a cream. I'm just placing this in the inner portion, and this will just kind of buff out, but just to kind of brighten that area a little bit. I'm just going to quickly clean this up with some concealer. I'm just kind of doing this look real quick just to show you guys and try out the shades. So I'm not going to do like a full face since I already did have like my prior makeup on. But I know you guys like to see like multiple looks. So that's what we're doing here, because sometimes the multiple looks can be a little bit time consuming. But you kind of get the gist of how it will look once I clean everything up. So with this look, I'm just adding in a little mascara so you could see it all complete. We're gonna go a little bit more all out with the second look, which you guys saw that one in the beginning, and I'm gonna be showing you how I do that one. So here's a close-up on the eyes for look number 1 with the Italian Spritz palette. Okay, look number 2, we're starting bare face, so starting fresh here. I am gonna go ahead and do in the crease, this is kind of like a cooler brown. Just spreading it all over on the eye and kind of bringing it down a little bit into the outer corner. I also want to mix a little bit of this purple called Mamma Mia in there as well. This will kind of add a little bit more berry and more color to the look. Again, these mattes are just insanely pigmented, which is awesome. Next, I'm going to go into this shimmer. It's called Como After Dark. We're going to see how this is going to apply. I'm going to place it here in the outer portion. This is probably going to be best with the finger, I'm guessing. But I just kind of wanted to lay down a base. I'm going to go into Lake and Bake. And I'm just going to kind of spread this along the lid here, kind of running into the other shade we used. And we'll do that on the other side. And then kind of doing a similar thing, I'm going to take Lake Como and place this one in the inner portion. And for the lower lash line, I'm going to mix Gelato with Mamma Mia. And just adding a little bit more of that Mamma Mia berry color into the crease just to kind of deepen that a little bit. Okay, I think that's the look. I was unsure like how to incorporate those blues because I definitely wanted to play with those, and I was hoping that the berry would look okay, and I do think it does look quite pretty actually. So let me put the rest of my makeup on. I'm gonna do a little half flash. I've been loving the half flashes lately, and I'll show you guys the finished look. Here is the final look with the lashes on. I wanted to add that I did add my favorite blush lately. This is the Cloud Crush from them in Candy Clouds, which I think has been restocked, but I've been loving this one. I feel like it is the perfect pink. So now that my makeup is all done, we can get into my final thoughts here on the Too Faced Italian Spritz palette. Alright guys, so here's my thoughts so far on the Too Faced Italian Spritz palette. So far, I actually am quite impressed with this one. I am glad that it did live up to the hype for me because I was a little bit nervous. Again, we've had some hits, we've had some misses from Too Faced, but I feel like lately it's been a lot of misses and they've just kind of missed the mark, I feel like, of what we're looking for. And I feel like this is really what I want to see from them, and what I want to see from them in the future is doing these fun color stories, doing these fun tin packaged based on drinks or food. I feel like that's where they got really popular, and I hope they do continue to do that because I do feel like they are listening to us a little bit. I do feel like there's always people who are gonna say, I even saw it when Trendmood posted this, like this is totally different for Too Faced in my opinion, and I've tried like all their stuff, but people were still commenting that this is the same thing they always do. But no, like it actually is quite different for them, I feel like. I feel like overall, the quality wise, I really love the mattes in this palette. They are just so vibrant, really pigmented shades, and I thought they were pretty easy to blend as well. They didn't have too much powder kick up or anything like that. The shimmers, again, I mentioned they're not my favorite formula. I don't like them so thick and chunky like that. If you just use like a very light hand, spread it along with your finger, you'll get to the best payoff with them. But I do almost think they're just a little bit too thick, where it does emphasize, like you can see every single wrinkle on your eyelid with these, where if they are less of that creamy texture, I feel like they're a little bit more flattering on the eyes, but then you don't get as much of the super metallic payoff, which if you're really into the metallic colors, you're going to love this. But yeah, just know it's kind of the same thing they have going on in their teddy bear shimmers and their sunset stripped palette shimmers. But like my favorite is the Too Faced Born This Way, the natural nudes. I feel like that one has the best shimmer formula that I really like. They're a little bit creamy, but not too much, but these are still like really beautiful colors on the eyes. I do find the color story, for me, it's a little bit hard to work with just because I'm not always used to playing with blues and oranges and trying to mix all the colors well enough together. I kind of wish it had maybe one really dark chocolate brown, because I feel like it is mixing just a little bit of those tones in it so that I could pair better with the blues. But we did try mixing some of the shimmers in the corners and stuff like that, and I feel like it still worked for us, but I think that would have been nice to have. And do keep in mind, you can do some neutral-ish looks with this. This is definitely, in my opinion, more of a colorful palette since these neutral tones are really pigmented. And I find the browns to be very warm tones, so a lot of your neutral looks can come out looking very warm and almost orange-like. So make sure that's something that you like. If you like to wear fiery and orange kind of warm looks like this, then you're good. But I don't find that it actually leans that neutral at all, in my opinion. Maybe if we went for some of these lighter tones, but with the shimmers added in, it definitely leans more towards the warm side for sure. Overall, I thought this one was such a fun one. I will say it is quite pricey though, And I mean, I always say it, but Too Faced does do a lot of sales. I would say for this one, since I feel like it's going to do well for them, so I don't know if this one would go half off super soon like some of their other ones do. I could see this one being full price for a while, but I mean, if you check often on Too Faced, they often do at least like 30% off sales here and there. This has been much more worth the price than a lot of their past palettes have been. If you guys have been disappointed in like the Pinker Times Ahead or the Better Than Chocolate, I think this is really good quality and something mainstream for you color lovers that you can actually get it at your local stores. I don't know if it's exclusive to Ulta. I know Ulta has it now. Too Faced has it. I don't know about Sephora. I feel like they probably wouldn't get this one, but I could be wrong. But I will have it linked for you guys in the description box. I also have a fun little tool. It's a YouTube shopping tool. So actually, I feel like it's on this side. It should say shop the products and you can shop it straight from the video. If you guys wanted a cheaper option, I always love to throw in comparisons here and there. I actually thought it reminded me a lot of ColourPop in the Springs. Like, it totally reminds me of like a Palm Springs palette, and I know that Too Faced did a Palm Springs palette. It's been a few years, but I just wanted to go ahead and compare these to each other. If you guys like the tones, the oranges mixed with the blues, I think these can be very comparable. The only thing, the Too Faced actually does have a little bit more options going on with the purples added in, but if you leave those out, these are essentially the same kind of thing, and this is actually on sale right now for like $9, but I'm gonna give props to Too Faced. I think they are going in the right direction, and this is where I want to see them go and keep going. I mean, we already had such a hit product with these cloud blushes, so I feel like maybe things are going in the right direction and things will hopefully continue to improve with the products. I'm curious to know in the comments if this is something you guys plan on picking up or not. Let me know down below, what do you think? Do we like this direction that Too Faced is going in, or honestly, what would you like to see from them? Because I always love reading your ideas and suggestions, and who knows, maybe they would watch this video and they can get some ideas from you guys as well in the comments. But so far I do like the direction they are going in. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts here on the new Too Faced palette. I'm gonna go ahead and end the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.